What if your AI called back every new lead in 5 seconds, booked the appointment, and handed it to your closer with a full seller profile already built, without you touching a single thing? In this office hours session, we brought in Sharad Mehta, real estate investor, flipper, and founder of ReSimply, to break down exactly how to use AI to close more deals without adding headcount. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Here that is today with us. We have a special guest today in the office hours. I'm excited for this one, guys. Everybody that is in here on a Friday at 11 a.m. just trying to get better every day. It's a real estate entrepreneur, real estate wholesaler, investor, flipper. Thank you for being part of the one of the best free wholesaling mastermind groups in school. I'm going to go over that real quick here. All right, so you guys are here in this RFNers wholesaling group, and today we have a special guest that wants to teach you guys something new and something better, innovative. And I want to make sure that we cover all details possible. And at the end of this video, I want to be able to share with you guys resources that are going to 100% help you guys close more deals. And one of them on the hot topics is going to be AI, right? How we're going to close more deals with the help of AI. Whether you agentize your business or you just use agents that can help you close more deals. Whether you're generating leads from paper lead, Facebook ads, Google ads, direct mail, cold calling, you name it. There's other ways that you can add to your Rolodex to use AI, okay, to close more deals. So today I have guests, and I want to introduce you guys to Sharad. Sharad is the one and only co-founder of, no, actually full founder of ReSimply, right, Sharad? How many people are in there? Just curious now.
We have 100 employees, but I'm the solo founder. Yeah, it's been awesome, man. It's been awesome, Ryan.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, Sharad, please give yourself a little bit of an introduction. I can definitely tell that you are one of the most biggest go-givers in the space. And I'm excited for us to do a masterclass on how to properly use AI in this space.
Cool. Awesome, man. Thank you, Esteban, for the intro. So, guys, my name is Sharad. I'm the owner and founder of ReSimply. I live out here in beautiful Carlsbad, California. For anyone who's not familiar, it's 45 minutes north of San Diego. Downtown, even though it's raining, which is kind of nice, we need a little bit of rain. But I have been investing. I've actually been a real estate investor since August 2010 is when I bought my first properties. Until date, I've done about 750, 800 deals. And at this point, I do about 25, 30 flips. I invest in right outside of Chicago in Northwest Indiana market. I used to live in Chicago. I lived in downtown Chicago until 2015. And that's why I picked that market to invest in. We do about 25, 30 deals a year over in that market. It's a very automated business in the sense I have personally not been to Indiana in 6 years now. So it's very, very automated. I connect with my call once a week. Actually, I had my call with the team starting in 20 minutes, but I don't always need to meet with them. They know what they need to do. So for my real estate team, I have myself and I have a project manager who actually lives in California also, not our north of Corona, California. So she manages all our flips. And then we have one person, he sits between lead manager, dispo manager, and our marketing manager, primarily helping us with our marketing in Philippines. He's been with me for a couple of years. And then we have one acquisition manager in Indiana, Jasmine, and she has been with us for about a little over a year. So it's a very hands-on business for me. Everything we do, from pulling a list to managing our marketing, flips, even bookkeeping, accounting, everything is done in ReSimply. So when I started the company ReSimply back in a few years ago, the idea was to create something where everyone on my team could be on one platform, including people that are doing marketing all the way up to bookkeeper and accountant. I come from an accounting background, so that's why I wanted to have accounting integrated also. And then I wanted something that was super simple to use. That's why the company's name is ReSimply. And then the third was because I come from accounting background, it had to give really good KPI, so I could use that to make decisions based on the numbers that we have. At this point, we have thousands of investors all over the country using it, from anywhere people that are just starting out all the way to people that are doing, you know, 40, 50 deals a month, up 40, 50 deals a month. So like 500 deals a year using our platform. And then last year, we started leaning heavily into AI. And then a month or so ago, we made a pretty big update with AI, Gen 2 AI. We've been getting amazing feedback on it. And then we have some other updates coming in a month or so that's going to make AI fully autonomous, literally, essentially get rid of a need for a lead manager where it's gonna go in, work your pipeline, just do all of that. And then we also have a big product update coming with our existing platform. So that's a little bit about me. As someone kind of, how do you want me to do this question answer?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Well, if you have a solid slides or presentation that helps you better, that's that runs wonderful. I think the Q&A, we can even leave it for the end, but if you do
Yeah,
have slides, that would be great. If not, I can just ask you questions.
I don't have, I usually don't prepare slides, but I have, like, I can do a screen share, go over kind of, what we have, like how we're utilizing AI in the business. So I can go over that, and then we can do a little bit of Q&A.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Let's see. Let's start understanding how you currently are using AI in everyone else's business and in your business,
Sure.
and I love to dive into that with you.
Can you see my screen where it's like a pipeline that you have?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so this is the lead CRM part of Recently, where you can see all the leads that you have. And I'll just quickly go over some of the AI agents that we went live with. So this is a list of AI agents that we went live with. You have an AI agent that can answer calls for you. So it's an incoming voice AI agent. It has full memory, so it can handle any return call. Also, there was a big update that we made. Now that AI has full memory of every single conversation, not just the AI conversation, but non-AI conversation also, meaning if you spoke with a seller and now the seller calls back, AI has that contact, so it can just take the call from there. This is a follow-up specialist. Think of it as, an employee that's making outbound calls for you. You can just put it as part of the drip campaign. This is a speed to lead AI agent. This is great for your PPC lead, PPL lead. So think of it, any lead that comes from a web lead, whether you are generating that lead or if you have a PPL company generating that lead, you can have this AI agent be enabled and it's going to immediately call. So as soon as that lead gets submitted, it hits your Recently account, this AI agent is immediately in like 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, in 5 seconds, going to call that seller. And then again, it has context. It's going to start the conversation based on what was filled out. SMS conversation is if you get a text from any seller that you have, it picks up from there and starts engaging them and actually books an appointment on you. So all these AI agents are basically your lead manager. Think of them as your lead manager, whether through call or SMS. Their goal is to book an appointment for your team. So that's what they're doing. They're working together. And then we have a deal intelligence. Basically, it gives you a lead score, a contract score, so you can see how good a buyer or seller lead contact is. And then you can get some pretty good insight into that. And I'll go over this seller intelligence. It gives you a full summary of the lead that you have. You never have to take any notes, never have to, listen to any phone call. It just does all the work for you. SMS assist is if you are texting a lead, it pulls all the context of the lead. You can just click create an estimate. It's going to create the most relevant message without you ever needing to look at any lead. Sorry, I got mixed up. This is the lead score. I'll show you. This is kind of if you're making a call. This is a pre-call. You can go into any lead blind, and it tells you exactly what you need to say on the call. And then this is called Review Coach. If you're listening to any call, it can grade it for you. It can give you a full summary. And the seller appointment is if you're going on any appointments, you can go into your ReSimply app, hit record, and then it can start recording it. It can summarize the in-person meeting for you. Okay. So that's what it can do. So if I go into any lead, all right, so some of these AI agents that we have, let me see. Okay, so this is the one, basically, I can just click right here. It's going to load up without me ever needing to listen to anything or knowing anything about the lead. It tells me exactly what's going on with this specific. This is a text account, so there's going to be a whole bunch of junk data in here. But it tells me when was the last touch, which was just today. And then, it even pulls the most relevant cell. Yes, perfect. We'll see you then. What's their motivation? And then what's the best time to call any pending item? And if you're calling them back, if they do not pick up, then, what is it that, or if they do pick up, what is it that you need to say? If they don't pick up, like it tells you exactly what voicemail you should be leaving, and it tells you what is their biggest objection that that they have right here. So you can go into.
This is does it also do research about the lead a little bit more, or it just goes over the information that they have submitted?
It does. So if I go into the seller psychology tab, so it'll listen to all the conversation you've had. I mean, this one, it's a test account, so we don't have, but it basically creates a seller profile for you based on all the conversation you've had through phone or text message, and it'll tell you what is driving them. Okay, this is a test account, so we don't have much information, but it creates like a seller psychology for you. And then if there's any gaps, it'll tell you, ask what is motivating. I mean, we're testing, making some changes to our SMS part. So we're just testing the SMS mainly here, but it tells you, ask the timeline, what the next steps would be right here.
Okay. In the seller psychology or the AI pre-call brief, these are actually, it's funny because I've been trying to create something like this for my own company using Claude, but it seems that you have it integrated, and obviously it's business to business, so you have to do like research on the business itself. But this one, it's based on the answers that you get, and also this conversation.
Yep. So let me see if I have one that's actually populated.
And real quick, that's the outbound caller, like the AI caller uses that as well as human?
Correct. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So this one is it's an actual lead. So this one's filled out. It tells you what is their personality and how much confidence we have in it, and what is their accuracy over estimate. So, and then it tells you, a rep can look at this. You push for pricing logic. We don't base our offers on Zillow. It is not accurate. So it tells you exactly, like, pulls from all the conversation you've had, and it tells you, like, what is their communication style, what is their decision pattern, what is their core motivation, stress signal, any buying signals to watch out for. So this, like, again, this is, I did not look into this lead. I have no idea. Like, I don't even know the seller's name. It's Ralph. But, it pulls everything, all the conversation. I've had 2 calls, 4 text messages. It pulls everything from it and tells me before I jump on a call, hey, this is how. Like, I could just go into any lead line and then just start the conversation from it without needing to know anything.
And let's say, for example, if we're sending leads, or leads are coming, and then they end up booking an appointment. First of all, can they book an appointment directly with this CRM? Let's say the second page, after they opt in, can they have an appointment calendar, or maybe integration with
I mean, we have integration with Google Calendar, if that's what you mean. Like, the appointments will show up right here. Like, this is what we're testing. This is all the appointment that the bot's booking. Okay. These are phone appointments. I mean, not in-person appointments are always an hour when it's booking. And then if it's booking an appointment through text, this is the phone appointment. It's always 15. So this is an appointment that this is all bot that we're testing right now. Yep. The bot booked an appointment for 15 minutes for a phone call, and then these 2 are in-person appointment for an hour. So you do based on your availability.
Nice. So let's say they book an appointment, and a lot of the people here have appointment setters that are going to be doing a speed to lead. and that's going to be the first conversation that they have with the seller, right?
Right.
Can the call brief, can the AI call brief happen from that first conversation, even though the appointment is set for, like later time or so on?
Yeah. So as soon as something's happened with the lead,
Mm-hmm.
then it will the AI call brief will be available.
Mm-hmm.
So speed to lead, as soon as it hits your account and you've had a conversation, we have a call recording, then it will pull into the AI call brief.
Nice.
And it keeps updating after every call. And then this is like AI bot, telling you confirmed it scheduled in-person walkthrough for 1 to the main is Saturday, May 30th at 10 a.m. So this is like we're doing a lot of testing on our texting bot, and then we were making them changes to our phone voice AI bot. So we're just testing it. Someone say, hey, what do you think you're selling? Then we call back, and then we test it back and forth on, okay, how would the AI? So these are all AI calls, AI notes that are going in right here.
Yeah. And in the AI brief, I saw some sort of suggestions from the conversation itself, right? So this one, or was it a seller psychology? Because I saw suggestions. Was it like a coaching about the conversation itself, or what was that?
I mean, yeah, it would say like basically it extracts everything from that lead, from all the conversation, and it tells you, okay, what is it? Basically, a rep guidance. It said all pushback on the valuation accuracy, and he anchored on a property fact, house is only 8 years old. Like it tells me exactly kind of the conversation that it's had. How should an acquisition manager approach it? I would like, he said, I would like to get through. Don't jump straight to minimizing it. Ask if 210 as can move closer to his 330 target via clear trade. So it tells you exactly kind of how you should handle the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. But
And
the AI pre-call brief is like, if you quickly want to know, like if you're an acquisition manager, you just want to get refreshed on what's going on. Like it tells me what is their biggest objection. Like just without me knowing anything, I can go into any lead. Without me knowing anything, it tells me what is they need to confirm with my brother. Like I didn't check anything on this lead, and it says they need to confirm with their brother. Like I can just go into any one of these, and then if I have some context on it, it'll pull that data on kind of what's going on with that seller.
Okay. Is there any at some point will you have like some sort of AI sales feedback so that you can give feedback right away from some sort of framework or sales methodology or something? Is that possible? Or
What do you mean? Like,
so let's say
feedback?
the script is this, right? Like they have a specific script and framework or training, and then the feedback. Right now, the feedback I do with my team is like I either have an automation with ChatGPT, and the script and training is there, so it gives me feedback based on, for example, NPQ, or I run it through like a trained plot that is an NPQ, and then it gives me from the transcription gives me feedback. But I don't know if you can do it directly in here.
We do have in a future update, we will be adding. So this is kind of based on our own sales, process, if you want to call it. We will be adding a couple of more sales processes in here. So for example, if I go right here, when I'm booking, like when I'm setting up my AI agent, like right now, you just have to give it a name and then sales technique. We're going to be adding more sales technique. Like this is our default. We will be adding additional sales technique. So if you want to follow kind of like an NEPQ or a Sandler's method or whatnot, so we will start adding additional sales techniques throughout our system. So you can use different sales methodology.
Mm-hmm.
When your bot is talking, when your AI bot is talking through text or phone call. And then you can also have it right here if you want to see the summary based on a different sales process that you have. But the idea right here is like you just go in for your acquisition team, acquisition manager calling, it just go in, like it immediately tells you, okay, what's going on? Like, what do I need to know about this? Like, I could just call this seller, even though I've never talked to this. I didn't listen to any calls. I know exactly, okay, if I call Diane, how should I start my conversation?
Yes.
Right. So that's the idea here. So this would be for your acquisition team. So that's one. And then the other would be like, let me go into another lead. So we have these AI summaries. I can go in and let me go into this one itself. Like it summarizes everything for me based on acquisition, what's happened with this seller, and it tells me when is the latest date when we had this information. And again, same thing. While she plans to talk to a brother, decision maker, what's the property condition, financial negotiation, next steps. And then I don't have anything like this property is not under contract, so transaction dispo is not filled out. But the AI feels it takes all the conversation that I've had with the seller and it organizes all of that into these AI fields. So it says price expectation 20,000, and then I can have a seller is expecting 20,000. Our offer is 12,500. Like this without me, like follow up needed. What is the property type, condition, repair scope? The home needs major home needs work, including small fire damage in the kitchen. Like I didn't listen to any call. I didn't look at any notes. I can just go in right here and know exactly kind of what's going on with this house. And then you can go ahead and filter with these leads also. What are the major issues? Multiple issues were mentioned, including fire damage and actively leaking, burst pipe, and vandalism, interior mess concerns.
And that will be filled out by itself just based on the conversation?
I'm sorry?
Would that be filled out by itself?
Yes.
Based on
and it'll keep updating. Like every time you have a conversation, you add a note, you do anything, like it'll just like there's no need for us to fill any of these custom fields. Like everything that we need to know, it's automatically filled out and organized. So I can just go into any lead, just click into any lead. Like if I go into something that I have under contract, it's going to fill out, give me a little bit more information on transaction. Like I can go into this one is actually under contract, confirm purchase by 64, we're closing on or before June 12th. Who's the escrow company, what is the property access, due diligence to meet. And then on the dispo side, I can see kind of what's going on. And same thing, AI fields will be filled out right here. Their motivation, everything. So again, when I'm meeting with my team, previously they would tag me in some notes and I would go listen to calls. Like I don't have to do any of that, none of that. And it even gives me a score, contract score 55. And then if I go into, let me do this. If I go into a lead,
it gives me look like work.
What was that?
How does the score work?
Yeah, so if I go into a lead, it tells me what is the lead score. And we have an algorithm that calculates, this is MLS listed, suggesting an active seller listing title with last call reach voicemail. And then if I go into a property that's under contract, it gives me a score based on how likely we are to close this property. And it tells me what is the likelihood of us closing. Has not provided the account number, which is the final payoff. And this is all pulling from the conversation, email, whatnot. The contract is e-signed with the target date. Seller must vacate in 1 to 3 weeks. And then this is the evidence of it tells me based on this call that happened on May 26th, this is what BSI Financial, that's the loan provider. And then unknown close on before, SMS, seller needs about another week or two before. So it pulls everything on that lead from calls and everything, and it tells me. And then if I go into the lead score, it tells me how it's calculating the lead score. And this one is MLS listed, so it says send offer to agent. So this is these are built more for your acquisition team. Before you're calling or jumping on a call, you kind of have entire summary of what's going on with that lead. And then if you're calling, or if you want to call, you can just click right here. Lead score will help you just get an idea of, okay, is it a hot lead or not?
Question. So if someone has a bad sales rep that doesn't really follow sales processes, or they don't ask proper questions, and a lot of the things is from transcription too, Like,
Right.
how would it separate like the sales rep not asking the right questions and not gathering the right information and gathering the right motivation versus
Right.
scoring it the right way because everything's from transcription and the information of the lead. Like,
Yeah, so you would have, like, you can do these lead scores, and then acquisition scores right here. And it
mhm,
gives you, I mean, it's processing. So it tells you kind of, it gave a score of 62, and it'll
mhm,
tell you, okay, what happened with that call? Like, where did they mess up on this call? So you can go in and listen to those calls also, just get an idea of, okay, what's going on with this specific call? Like, where did they mess up on this? And it gives breaks down the entire call. It tells you they didn't ask anything about the property condition. And then you have a score for lead manager, and then you have a score for acquisition manager. For acquisition manager, it tells you, did they go into the mindset and positioning? I mean, this is a test call internally, but did they go into rapport building or not? Like, and then it tells you, discussed at what point. I see you have a walkthrough, confirm, and conversation metrics, like how many open-ended questions did your rep ask, how many closed questions were asked, number of questions the seller asked the rep. So it tells you all of that
yeah.
information.
So this was a 25 out of 100. Was that a test or was it like a really terrible like sales rep?
This is a test call that we're doing. Like, this
Okay.
is our AI that we're testing out right here. But if I want to do with a live call, let me see. Yeah, this one, I can just go into a live call and test out, and then it'll give me a score of that
So this is kind of
specific
like
call.
this is the first stage of the coach that we were talking about, basically.
Yes.
Um,
So this, I don't. I mean, I have. I've like, we're closing deals. I'm not super actively involved in it. So if I'm going in, I'm spending most of my time on these AI summaries and just seeing, okay, what's going on with this specific lead? Is the contract on schedule to close or not? So that's where I would personally get involved. It didn't generate this. Okay, it's still working on it. But that's where I'm spending most of my time with my team. Like, I'm not the one calling or texting. And if we have some issues on, we felt like the deal was going to close and it did not, then I'll go in and like maybe dig a little bit more into what's going on with that specific lead.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. And then, so this would be, these AI agents that you have right here. These are your like AI co-pilot. So your deal intelligence is basically pre-call prep. Contact intelligence is your AI summary. And oh no, sorry, this is AI summary. This is kind of tells you everything that's going on with the lead that you need to know. SMS assist. So I can go into any lead. For example, let's say it's a live lead. Now you can either type up a message or you can just click right here, create with SMS assist. It's going to create a text message for me without me knowing anything about the seller. It'll just tell me, okay, this is a text message that you should send to the seller. And you can also make it part of your what it's generating. I can also make it part of my drip campaign. So when you're creating your drip campaigns, you can go in and say, for example, if I want to send this text out, I don't have to type generic messages. I can just say, hey, I can let SMS assist take over, and it'll automatically create the most relevant messages that I need to send. I say, hey, Lauren, this is Jasmine. Quick check on 36. Are you still good to move forward? Also, any update on the BSI financial? So this is a property that we have under contract. So it tells me, it pulled the most relevant information and said, hey, this is the text you should send based on, we're trying to get the payoff from BSI mortgage financial for second mortgage. So I don't have to know any of this, and I can make it part of the drip campaign also, where I can just enable this and it'll just automatically create the text message that I need to send. I don't have to write that message. It'll just say, hey, I'll just keep it'll do like 4 or 5 different type of messages. Instead of when you're creating an SMS as part of your follow-up, you have to like either create from, you have to write a message, but then if you've had a different conversation, let's say between all the text messages or follow-up that you're doing, if the seller calls and says, hey, I have to take my dog for a surgery or something, whatever. Now, that's not, if you're manually typing it, you won't be able to pick up, but if you do this, it will automatically pick that up. it will say, hey, Esteban, I know you have to take your dog for a surgery. I hope everything is okay. Let us know when you want to connect next. So it'll automatically pull that context. So it sounds like a human actually typed that message.
What about emails as well?
Emails for not right now. We don't have honestly, like most of the people don't use email for follow-up. Maybe for the initial, when the lead comes in, for a web lead, that's where they use email. But honestly, 99% of the conversation end up moving through call or text message.
Okay. What if I want to, so this drip campaign can be for inbound or follow-ups, right?
Correct.
Okay, so one of the biggest things that we actually do with our lead generation is that we try to customize the follow-up of the lead as much as possible based on their pain points, because they essentially tell us which specific pain point is the one that they have, and
Right.
we want to send them value dense material and content that can actually solve that specific pain point. And we do that in the text message or the email, right? So how would you suggest or do like that, send them specific suggestions, content, or value dense information about their specific pain point if they, let's say, answered that, the answer of the question is like, what specifically got you selling? And then there's an option of like motivation. Like how can you customize that flow?
I mean, so let's say this is a lead coming in from a web lead coming into the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it would automatically have that context. So when it calls back, so there is like certain algorithm, like if it already knows why someone is selling and they recently said it, they're not going to ask again. Like if someone said, let's say if a lead comes in from a web lead and they said, hey, I want to sell because I'm moving out of town, right? Or I'm downsizing. It already has that information. It's not going to ask them again. Like, maybe you'll likely touch on, hey, I just want to make sure the reason you said you're selling because you're going to move out of town. It's not going to ask, hey, what was the reason? Because it already has that. So think of it, how would a human do that? Like if a lead came in from a web lead, when a human calls in, it knows that someone is selling because they want to move out of town. It's not going to re-ask them, hey, why are you selling? Because it already has that either through a web form. It could have happened through any medium. It could have happened through email. It could have happened through web form. It could have happened through call or text. It will only ask if it's been more than a certain period of time. Let's say if they said 6 months ago that they were selling because they're moving out of town. Now it's like we call it stale information. It will go back and say, hey, Esteban, I know last time we spoke, you said you're selling because you're moving out of town. Is that still the reason? So it's saying, it knows that. So we have an algorithm set in the backend where based on when the last information was collected and how long it has been, now since AI is following up, it will ask. I mean, just kind of how human would do. If someone said on price, for example, like their price, if they gave us a price in last week, then we know that's kind of what they want. But if they give us a price a year ago, then we're going to touch on it again. We're going to ask again. We're not going to go based on the price that they gave or condition that they gave or, the reason that they gave. So then the bot will re-ask the information just to see, okay, is it still the reason? Or if there is a new reason, new price, or new condition information, and then it'll override that information.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to share with you something real quick. How would you solve this thing right here with ReSimply that we have? So we got the marketing and we got the closing or sales process, right? Well, one of the biggest things that we do inside of us, the company, hold on, is we create a pre-selling process as well. So it's kind of like after the lead opt-in, before the sales. And it's essentially indoctrinating the lead as much as possible to trust the company as as much as possible. And that's like a combination of like text, emails, and landing pages that are custom to the client. And a landing page could include the information about how do I solve, for example, foreclosure? How do I solve,
Right.
inherited house or a divorce situation or whatever? And it's specific to the pain. It's specific to the seller. Um, and obviously it would come with different information. Either within a PDF or a landing page that has even a video
Yeah.
presentation. So how would you do that where as soon as the lead comes in,
Yeah.
get this
So
value
basically,
gen?
the text message, emails are very situation based, for example.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So there's a couple of ways you can do that. One would be you can set up these drip campaign for different purposes. And then you can have, for example, if you have to send this information. So instead of AI sending it, if you know for a fact this is like a foreclosure, then you can say, hey, I know you are going through foreclosure.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how we help other homeowners. And then you can create a custom landing page. Let's say this is my custom landing page, and I can just drop the link right here. Then they would get that. If they're getting it from tax delinquent, then you can do that. If they're going through a divorce, then they can do that. If you want to send custom landing pages, uh, honestly,
Okay.
in my opinion, like the most important thing is like you get in touch with someone, have a timely follow-up. That's going to win almost every time versus creating like very specific like the AI would handle that. If like it's not going to send, like if you give it custom landing pages and whatnot, it will do that. But based on phone or text conversation, it will handle that. Like it knows why they're selling. So if it knows it's pre-foreclosure, it knows, okay, they're selling because they're going through a pre-foreclosure. It's going to say, it will handle the conversation accordingly. But if you want to send someone as soon as the lead hits your system and you want to send them, hey, here's a little bit of information about us. Here's what you can, find out how we help people that are going through period. Then you can include that custom link. You can do that through email also. I can have like an email go out, and then you can have different templates set up. Like, for example, you can have one for, soft pitch sub to, for example, and then it will send that and you can see
But it
kind of
would
what that,
not. Would it let's say if AI would not create like a custom email that talks about pre-foreclosure if I wanted to let AI kind of like handle that? Would it?
it's not doing the emails yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then the email is going to come a little bit later this year, but it's doing through, like it's handling that through call and text. Like even in call, it's not going into, hey, this is how we're going to help. Like think of it as a lead manager, just basically warming up the lead and setting an appointment for the acquisition person to take over.
Yep.
And then it just passing over to acquisition person. The goal of, if you like the way a lead manager, their goal is to book as many appointments as possible for the acquisition team.
Yep.
So that's what it's geared for. Hey, we're going to get as many through phone calls or through text message. We're going to get as many appointments as we possibly can for the acquisition team. That's what it's saying. So the acquisition team goes in. Now they have all the information. If they want to call someone, they can just like pull up right here and like, okay, this is everything that's happened through all the conversation. Here's what I need to do. And they can do that. Now, at that point, if they need to send some custom information, they can do that. But having a lead come in and then immediately somebody starts engaging with that seller through call or text message, you have their attention, especially on PPC or PPL leads. These people are filling out multiple forms on the website. So if you are the first one who gets in touch with them, there's two things that happen. Like you are talking to them when they have the highest motivation. So if they fill out a form, something is going on in their psyche that they went and filled out a form. If you get them on the phone at that time, you're catching them when they have the highest motivation. The second thing is you are preventing them from going to other websites and filling out other forms. So that's what happens. And then the in this case, the goal of the voice agent or the texting agent would be just to get them to speak with the acquisition team. That's it. That's their only goal, is to get them to speak with the acquisition team. And then if they will do that, they basically either book a phone appointment or in-person appointment based on what your preference is. And then at that point, basically think of like lead manager's job is done. It said, hey, I've set up an appointment for you. Here's what's going on. And then you can kind of, the acquisition team will take over from there.
Okay, awesome. I heard that you also have a solution for, I'm going to walk you through real quick here, where kind of like where the funnel is. So you explained you went through lead scoring a little bit, right? And you went through essentially debriefing the sales team essentially to kind of know what's the what is going on with the lead itself. So I guess we can just insert that debriefing. That's actually good now that with AI, because otherwise you would need like some sort of like full-time sales coordinator or executive assistant to debrief stuff if you really want to do it. But I know you're eliminating that, right? So you do a debrief in here. Okay, awesome. How would you? I heard that you have landing pages, and obviously that can that are templates and so on.
Yeah.
Do you currently have like landing pages that can be created with AI, kind of like Lovable or Claude, or
we have ones that are built for real estate investors. So here, I'll share my screen. I kind of, this is what, and then you can customize these also. This is what's built out of the gate. You can like go in, customize, drag and drop, and then you can create landing pages also. I believe we have one for we have like 5 or 6 different specific landing pages, pre-foreclosure, divorce, or like maybe I forgot which ones do we have. We run those for our PPC campaign, but you can go ahead and create, landing pages. But this would be your main website. This is, and we've customized it ourselves. You can fully customize it. This is my team, Claudia, our project manager. This is our acquisition manager, and this is our, Jay, who's based in Philippines. So we have everyone right here. Someone goes to our website, this is kind of what they see. They can fill in right here. It immediately goes into our pipeline, and then AI starts calling them and starts following up with them. Yeah. And you can create one for this fall. So you can create custom landing pages also that you want to create. Like if you want to have them, instead of going to your main website, if you want to have them go to a specific page that's built for pre-foreclosure, divorce, or probate or whatnot, then you can go in and create those landing pages, and then you can send them that specific landing page. Like there's no limit to how many landing pages you can create.
And let's say, can you run this landing page connected to Claude and to help it kind of like do changes automatically from Claude to this?
We are going to be adding that a little bit later. Right now we have some 8 to 10 templates that are built out of the gate that you can use, built for real estate investors. You can drag and drop and change it.
Yep.
We will be adding, but if you want to create something, most of the investors, they're creating websites with the intent of creating something for motivated sellers. So we already have templates, like 8 to 10 templates built out. You can drag, drop, easily change that. We've not had, like, for creating custom landing pages, we've not had many people, or I can think of anybody ask for, hey, I want to integrate Claude. Where people do want to integrate their, AI is kind of, that's what we're doing. Hey, I want to call this person. I want to have everything that I need to know. I don't want to have to take any notes. I just want to exactly know what's going on. So that's where we're doing, we're kind of doing it in the order of priority. People want to say, hey, I don't want to have to hire a lead manager. So that's what, we've done with, you can have AI answer the call, make calls for you, send text messages, or you can just let AI start kind of taking your inbound calls, making calls for you, and then just start texting on your behalf also.
Awesome.
Yeah. So landing page is like a one-time thing you can just set up, and then it's not something that you're constantly going in and updating it. You can just create one time, in which we already have built a bunch of landing pages that are very specific for real estate investors. And you can fully customize it. It's not through AI, but you can go in and customize it, but they're already built pretty much for real estate investors, like kind of what you would want to create. So we have 8 to 10 different templates.
Nice. How are we solving right now speed to lead?
Yeah, so speed to lead would be, I'll kind of give you a demo of, what the call sounds like. Let me do this here. Let me switch my speaker so you can, all right, I'm gonna have to stop sharing screen. Change my mic. All right, can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna see. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Sabrina with ReSimply LLC on a recorded line. How can I help you today?
Hey, Sabrina, you guys sent me a postcard about my property.
Did you have a property you were looking to sell?
I do, yes.
Awesome. Can I get your first name real quick?
My name is John.
All right, let's start with the address, please.
It's 123 Main Street.
And what city and zip is that in?
It's in Chicago, 60605.
Do you have about 2 minutes to go through a few quick questions about the property?
Yep.
Is anyone living there right now, or is it sitting empty?
No, it's been vacant for a couple of years now.
About how long has it been vacant?
About a couple of years.
How's the property doing condition-wise? I'm pretty well kept up, or does it need some work?
It needs some work to it.
No worries, we buy in any condition. Is it more cosmetic stuff or bigger repairs?
I believe the roof is leaking, and I think there was a little bit of plumbing issue also.
No worries, we buy in any condition. Do you know when the kitchen or bathrooms were last updated?
It's been like more than 5 years.
Are you trying to get it done soon or still figuring out the timing?
Would love to get it done as soon as possible if the offer is right.
What's got you thinking about selling?
I'm just tired of dealing with this property at this point. I just want to be done and not have to deal with it.
Totally understand. What number would make this worth it for you to move on?
Zillow says my house is worth about 500,000. That's what I would like to get.
500,000. And is there still a mortgage on it, or do you own it free and clear?
No, there's no mortgage. I own it free and clear.
All right. And is it just you making the call on this, or is someone else involved?
No, it'll just be me making the decision.
Anything on your end that could make this tricky to get across the finish line?
No, as long as the offer is right, then that's all we need.
Have you thought about going the traditional route with an agent, or were you looking for something more direct?
No, I just want to sell it directly to investor. I don't want to go through the listing route.
I think I've got everything I need here. Let me get you set up with Danielle from our acquisition team. They're the one who can go over the numbers with you directly.
Okay, so Esteban, that's actually the voice of Shanae that we've cloned in our system.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Shanae is a lot more energetic and she sounds like a happy person.
Yeah.
But what's her name? Sabrina. Sabrina gives me, different type of person vibes.
Yeah.
It's great. It was a great conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it is an AI bot at the end of the day. Like with the next update that we're at, I mean, this was on our test account, but with the next update that we're adding, we've added it to make it sound more human. We've added like those pauses, those ums and ams, in between where it's gonna.
Oh, she absolutely sounds human. She absolutely sounds human, and it was like a real conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm intimidated.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I say the wrong thing, and she's gonna be pissed at me.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
this is good though, because
Yeah.
now can you switch the voices?
You can switch the voices. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
text
can switch.
Sinead that I
Yeah.
talked to her clone.
Yeah.
That we
No,
talked
she
to.
already knows. Yeah. We've already had Sinead talk to her clone. She had her family listen to it. This test environment, we haven't like fine-tuned it, but the one that we're working on that's going to be released next week, we've fine-tuned that. I didn't have that testing number available to call that. So
Yeah.
she had on that one, she had her voice, uh, she had her mom and her kids listen to that, and they could not believe like how, like,
It's crazy, right?
yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. But I mean, imagine like the job right here is, I mean, whether you're using AI or human, like the job that needs to be done has not changed. Like it is still the same job. Somebody calls in, you gotta answer the call live. Like that has not changed whether you use humans or AI. So if you have humans answering every single call live, and you don't need AI. Like if you're never missing a call, then you don't need AI, right? But at a minimum, you should not have any call ever go to voicemail. So imagine if your team did not pick up, would you rather have that call go to voicemail or would you rather have an AI pick up? Most of the people cannot even tell that they're talking to an AI. Majority of the people. So based on the calls that our system, we get 33% of the calls that come in, it's basically people saying, hey, I want to be taken off the marketing list. Don't call me again.
Yeah.
You don't need to have a human take that call. AI is going to take care of those calls every single time, right?
Yeah.
And there's like 10% spam calls where people saying, hey, like Google verification. I'm sure you guys get those also. This is Google verification, like some sort of a spam call. AI takes care of that. And then you have 15-20% of the calls coming in where people say, you're making outbound, you're doing outbound outreach to them. They call back and saying, hey, I missed a call from Esteban, or Esteban is trying to call me. Now it'd say, oh yeah, Esteban is one of our acquisition person. He's not available right now, but let me get some information for you. So like get all the information and say, all right, let me set up an appointment for you with Esteban for you. So like this, like it's just doing such a good job of setting appointments. Like it's setting hundreds of appointments every day for investors right now. Previously, where you may have missed out on this. So the same thing would happen. Someone goes to your website, fills out a form on your website, AI would immediately call them, like within 5 seconds, and say, hey, Esteban, I noticed you filled a form on our website. Do you have a few minutes to talk about the property? It has the property, and it'll just start going through that conversation. So like you don't have any leads that you're missing through. And now if they text back on that conversation, then it'll just pick up through text. So all of this conversation that we had, it gets fed to the AI through a text message. Through the AI summary. And then anytime someone calls back now, it has all of that context available for that lead. So this way it can just...
Hey, Sharad.
Yeah.
Hey, we had a question here in the chat about the script. So as far as the script goes, did I see in your settings earlier that you have default and then you're adding in more? So you'll be adding in different frameworks for that part?
We will be. Yeah. So this is the call that came in that we were testing. I can, see everything that's going on. Samisa, the home has been vacant for about 6 months, needs a bigger repair. So like everything that happened. And then like, this is where it collected everything. Like in this account, I have it turned on where it's asking everything. You don't have to do that. You can just go in and say, right here, lead qualification. You can just turn off some of the questions that we have. So the number that I called, on that number, it has everything turned on. Hey, just ask everything. Like, hey, have you thought about listing with an agent? It asks all the questions. That's just for our testing purposes. But if you don't want it to ask, hey, have you thought about listing with an agent? You can just uncheck it. If you don't want to ask decision maker price, so you can choose what questions you want it to ask, and it'll only go through those specific questions for you. It won't go through everything that you want, like anything that you don't want. Like if you don't want to ask deal killers or concerns, you can uncheck it. My thought is like it's very subjective, but my thought is if you have someone on the phone, might as well ask everything, because it's hard to get people on the phone. If you have someone on the phone, get them to ask everything that they're willing to tell. If they don't want to tell, if they say, hey, I would rather, if on the mortgage information, if it said, I would rather not share that information, then it's not going to keep pushing. It'll just move on. It's like, I totally understand, and they'll just go on to the next thing that you have. So my thought is, if somebody is giving that information, willing to give that information, might as well have. And then you can create different bots to test different things. You can test different voices. You can test different questions being asked. But if you're asking everything, like that call took about 3 minutes, 30 seconds. So it should, like in 3 to 4 minutes, should get everything, book an appointment, and then move on to the next one. And then
So
you can obviously take multiple leads at the same time.
So this does an outbound call. So the workflow is, let's say a lead comes in at 7:30 p.m. What happens then?
The AI can pick up the call, or AI can make an outbound call. AI will
Okay.
only make outbound call between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. just to be TCPA compliant. It won't call after 8 p.m. or before 8 a.m.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's us being conservative on to make sure that we don't call people at midnight. But the text message and inbound call, that's 24/7. Just the outbound call, it's technically a robocall. So then we want to be like we've talked to our attorney and said, hey, don't trigger calls after 8 p.m.
Okay.
But then you can have those calls go to human at that point if you want to call them yourself. Like then what speed to lead in that case would do? Let's say a call comes in after 8 p.m., like between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., AI will always make the call within like 5 seconds, speed to lead. But if it comes in that's at midnight and you still want to call them, what we would do is we will call you, or everybody that you have on your team, we will call you. Whoever picks up the phone will get connected with the seller. So you can have between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., AI can take over. After that, your humans will you'll still get in touch with them in 15 seconds, but now it's through a human and not an AI. That's just us being a little bit conservative when it comes to TCPA and not triggering calls, at midnight. Yeah, but if someone sends you a text message, it will respond 24/7. Or if someone calls you, it will answer the call 24/7, because there's, if someone calls you in, then AI, there's no restriction. Then AI can take that call whenever. Or someone sends you a text message, AI can, engage them through text message whenever.
Okay. Question for you. So TCPA, even if they opt in and check the opt-in option, you still only limiting to 8 p.m. because
for now, I mean, not everybody has the same, opt-in language. We don't want to get ourselves in trouble. We don't want to get anybody else in trouble. So it's just us honestly being conservative. I know there are other companies that would trigger calls at midnight. We don't want to do that. We have like thousands of people using it. So we have kind of a lot more to lose if we do that. And people understand that, people are happy with that.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can have, through text and whatnot, you can start engaging them through text message.
So the first thing in the morning would be an outbound call from the AI. Is that what's going to happen?
Yes. Then AI would call. Let's say if a lead came in at 3 p.m., then it would just trigger call. It would call that lead in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And for example, like for people that have their own ads already set up, and they have a TCPA compliant box and everything is good, like, do you allow to kind of, do, let's say, later than 8 p.m.?
Not right now, because I mean, we don't know how, like, it's something we'll have to either turn on for everyone or keep it turned off for everyone. So we don't know how somebody is managing their opt-ins. I mean, it is like AI call is technically a robocall. So there's more on the outbound, there's more restrictions on it. And, as it's going to get more used by different companies, I think there's going to be more regulations, more lawsuits. So we're just being honestly conservative on that. We don't think the juice is worth it's not worth it, basically. where you go in and start calling people, start triggering calls at midnight. You don't know. You just need one pissed off inbound seller, and then they're like, hey, you called me at this and whatnot. So it's safer to not make that call. You can still have humans make that call. Like you can trigger that within ReSimply, where the humans would make a call to that seller, but it would tell you, hey, there's a speed to lead, so you can go in right now. Like, let's say if you have a lead coming on this number, you can say where it can trigger a speed to lead right here. You can set it up, where you can say any lead that comes from my website, you can do speed to lead, watch AI agent, and then you can also, would you like manual speed to lead? So what will happen is between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., AI would take over. After 8 p.m., whoever you want us to call. So you will get a call from us, from ReSimply, saying, hey, there's a new lead. You pick up the phone, so it'll call all the people that you want. Let's say it goes to Esteban, you, Taylor, and me. Let's say it comes to all of us, and you pick up the call, Esteban, and then it'll say, hey, this is ReSimply speed to lead. You want to talk to the seller. You press 1, then we will call seller immediately. So it's still connecting, like all of that happens within 15 seconds. Like as soon as they fill a form, within like 2 seconds, you see a call on your phone. You pick up, you press 1, like within 2 seconds, start calling the seller. So you can still be connected with the seller within 15 seconds. But in that case, we're not having AI make the call. We're just saying, hey, you're a human, you take over this because this is after hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other feature or what other functionality in the sales process have you developed to, kind of like help closes, even if it is after nurture or whatever? What other things are you working on?
Yeah. So what's going to come in? This is not going to come right now. This is going to come with, we have a 6.0 version of our product coming. It's going to come with that. Basically, you can have AI take over your entire pipeline. AI will call, text, do all of that. You don't have to set up a drip campaign, and you can just see, you can basically, how do you want, every time AI has a call, it's going to categorize every call into one of these intents. And then you can tell if someone doesn't want to sell, right? Where do you want that lead to go? So you can just go, you can say, move it to dead lead, right? For example. So what will AI do is it'll just basically do full autonomous follow-up for you on your behalf. It will move the leads in your pipeline. Think of it like what a human lead manager does. Goes in, calls, text, and then if someone say, call me back in 3 months, it will set up a reminder for itself to call back. It will set up other tasks in between. So just all of that, AI is going to do for you. So if someone say, call me back, I want to sell, but maybe call me back in 3 months. So what AI will do is it'll set up a reminder for 3 months, but it will do a soft touch in 6 weeks at midpoint, just saying, hey, I know we have a call set up in some time, or you'll get date and time. Say, hey, let us know if anything has changed. And then I'll call on that day. And it'll automatically adjust based on the conversation that it's having. It'll automatically adjust when the next follow-up should be. So you don't even need a drip campaign. You just basically turn AI on, and it knows how often to follow up, when to follow up, and it'll just keep moving the leads in your pipeline. So you have a call coming in, someone say, hey, don't sell me, or move it to it, which it already does. It moves the dead lead stuff, it already does. But if someone calls back and says, hey, I want to sell right now, then it'll escalate it to a human. It'll say, okay, sounds good. Then it'll say, okay, I'm handing it off to a human. So it's going to hand off to the human. So that's what's coming in about a month or so, where you can just basically essentially getting rid of the lead manager role in your business. And AI is doing all of that for you on your behalf. Like you don't need a human lead manager. You just have AI do all of that, all the follow-up, everything inbound, outbound. You don't need to set up any drip campaign. You don't need to tell, it has all the context. It'll just constantly keep following up. It never stops following up. Okay. And it'll tell you kind of what is in the pipeline of the AI lead manager. Like you'll give an entire pipeline of, okay, these are the leads that is going to follow up. It's like, hey, I want to handle this person. You can just turn off AI and then just take over yourself.
So, Sharad, a last question before we go here, and thank you for staying here for an hour and so. So we have a process where essentially we got a closed feedback loop on the ads that we run from Google or Facebook or so on, where essentially we have a closed loop optimization
Yeah.
where we condition the pixel ads leads to the CRM to the pixel and smarter ads.
Yeah.
What do we have right now for your platform in order to make the ads smarter?
Yeah. So what you can do is you can, through API, push all this data, like pull all the data, and then feed it to your ads platform, and then see kind of what's working and not working. This is definitely advanced stuff, but you, in that case, you'll pull data out of our system, feed it into your ads platform, and say, okay, this is what's converting, this is what's not converting, and then you'll just keep optimizing your ads on that side.
Okay, so we are able to get from the pipeline, the offer stage, or contract stage, or
Yeah.
Any stage that we have, and we can give essentially that data back into the algorithm to make it better.
Right now, there is a little bit of a limitation with what it pulls out of the system. With 6.0 update that we have coming, it's going to be an open API. So you can just pull on demand. Like you can just basically create an automation where anytime a lead comes from, let's say, Facebook ads, it'll just keep pulling that. Anytime any event happens with that, it'll just keep updating your ads platform for you on that side. Yeah, but
Okay.
this is definitely more advanced stuff that, as you scale your business, you start getting into kind of fine tuning your ads and then optimizing for your ads budget based on the keyword that you have, or pixel and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you currently? How can you help people that have trouble tracking the KPIs to track it better with using CRM?
Yeah. So what you would do is, like, we have these dashboards built out. This is the one that I would say most of the teams use a lot. Is you can set up these different campaigns in your business. So if you're doing Google PPC, you can set up as many different campaigns you want to set up, and then it can track. So let's say you can set up based on different keyword that you have, if you want to do that, or you can just set up based on different landing pages, and then you can see how many leads are coming in from that. If you're a paper lead, you can try based on different PPL providers, the leads that come in from how much money I'm spending, and then it tracks all the information: how many leads you got, how many are qualified, how many appointments you went on, what's your cost per lead, or what's your conversion ratio, what's your cost per lead, cost per qualified lead. It tracks all of that data throughout the system. So if I go into my account, this is kind of what it looks like. Yeah, so this is what it looked like. We spent a lot of money on cold calling, direct mail, and it tells me exactly how much money I made right here. Google AdWords, SEO, MLS, like where am I making all my money, paper lead, SMS blast, everything that we're doing. It tells me how many deals we've closed from each of those marketing channels. And then I can go in and I have a bunch of different campaigns running. This is the best. This has always been our most consistent one, is absentee with 30% equity and 5 years of ownership. This is by far, just not for us, but generally speaking, the most consistent marketing outbound list that you can pull. Is absentee with 30% equity, 5 years of ownership. And then, we spent 12,000, we made 85,000, and this is letters versus postcards. So we have two different campaigns running. We can see how many leads, how many qualified, and all that good stuff right here. And then I can click right here and see kind of where all of those leads are right now in my pipeline. And then you can do the same thing for if you're doing PPC, for example. You can run up, like, we have different landing pages that we're running. You can check all of this by different landing pages. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So Sharad, obviously everyone would love to find out if there is any good, deal or special for anybody that is a client of ours. Some of our clients already are using it, but I'm not sure if they're here, are using ReSimply. Is there anything that you can provide of, whenever, if they sign up with ReSimply, anyone that is in this call as part of the Hustle Media or Get
Yeah,
Seller?
I believe the way we are set up is so anybody that signs up, they get 60% off the first month,
Mhm.
and they get, based on the plan that they sign up for, they get free trial of the AI for, if they sign up for a monthly plan, anywhere from like 14 to 30 days, depending on the plan that they sign up for, though they can test it out. They can see kind of how it's going. At this point, we're taking like thousands of calls every single day through AI. AI is making thousands of calls, handling thousands of conversation every single day. So
Yep.
we've got a pretty good feedback on it. Yeah.
Where can we find that deal? Just curious.
I will have Shanae text that to you, text you the link. I'm sure she has a custom link for you, which I don't have it, but I'll have Shanae send it to you.
Yeah, I think I have a link, but I'm not 100% sure if that's the right one. But
Yeah, just Shanae can confirm it for you. Then if you want to post it in your community, you can do that.
all right, I'm posting a link right in there. Hopefully that's the right one. Oh,
Yeah.
I double clicked it, but I'm posting this one right in there. It must have that deal, right?
Yeah, I think it should be, but yeah, that's something. Yeah, that's something that Shanae can confirm for you.
Awesome. So anybody that is interested in using this platform, trying it out for the first month and everything, and then continue doing it, they have a really good deal, 60% off. It's a no-brainer. And then, AI for a free month. That's awesome for you guys to kind of try the first month. And then, you'll see how you can continue moving forward with it, right? That's awesome. All right. Thank you, Sharad. How can
Thank
people
you.
find you in social media?
I'm not really active on social media. The best way would be email. I'll put my email address. I don't really post on social media or anything. So I don't even have any Instagram or anything. So I'm very old school. So that's my email address. That's the best way. I check my own email, and then if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer that. Cool.
All right. All right, that sounds good. Thank you so much, brother, for
Thank you,
being part of
guys.
this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna create like a specific video about how to utilize the CRM better as a good marketer and salesperson. And I'm gonna include all the functionalities that ReSimply have discussed with us today and all the things that I have figured out. So, that will be in another video that I'll be posting on YouTube. If you guys like this video and you're on YouTube, obviously subscribe to the channel or send it to a friend that believes that needs this. Otherwise, looking forward to see you guys in the other office hours with another guest. And yeah, Sharad. So I'm gonna collaborate with you on our YouTube channel so that people can ultimately learn more about how to use AI to close more deals.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it, Sharad.
Bye.
Every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we bring in operators and experts breaking down what's actually working for real estate investors right now, completely free. Stay tuned for what's coming next. Link to join the community is in the description. We'll see you there.